a group that centers around a shared devotion to a person, belief, or ideology. These groups often require intense devotion and loyalty, and use manipulation and control to enforce and maintain power. Sound familiar yet? Now, before you come for me, yes, I'm a K-pop fan. Could this apply to other fandoms? Absolutely. However, I can speak for K-pop only. This isn't me saying K-pop fans are brainwashed zombies. We're mostly just passionate people who really love music. But when you line up the actual warning signs of a cult against K-pop culture, the parallels are concerning. So let's go through them, shall we? Warning sign number 1. Absolute authoritarianism without accountability. In a cult, the leader's word is law. No questions, no pushback, just obedience. Cult leaders aren't accountable to anyone. They make the rules and followers comply. In K-pop, the leader is the idol themselves or the companies. And I'm not talking about one rogue company. This is industry-wide. When your favorite idol's company says no dating, fans don't just accept it. They enforce it harder than the company does. When an idol faints on stage from exhaustion, fans either ignore it or trend hashtags about how hardworking and dedicated they are. We make it a badge of honor. The companies hold all the power over schedules, concepts, personal lives, finances. We don't demand transparency. There are very little instances where fans have seriously organized for better treatment. We just keep streaming and buying and convincing ourselves that our fave's suffering is passion. Warning sign number 2. Zero tolerance for criticism or questions. This is the big one. This is where we really see cult behavior come out. In a cult, you're not allowed to question the leader, the teachings, or the group's practices. Any criticism is treated as betrayal or attack. As a stay, I made the terrible mistake of expressing my honest feelings about how I thought Stray Kids have stagnated in their sound. I didn't express my opinion in any malicious way. Honestly, I could never, because they are the group that got me into K-pop, and I love the Boyz deeply. However, I soon realized that no matter how hard I tried to make my arguments sound soft and non-offensive, instead of giving their counter-arguments, I got a dramatic, unhinged response, accusations, and insults. Did anyone get surprised by my story? I'm guessing that nobody. This kind of nonsense happens constantly whenever anyone outside of fandom expresses their opinion, or any fan inside the fandom goes out of the given script. Try saying that an idol had a bad vocal performance without someone sending you a dissertation on why you're wrong, why you don't understand music, why you're clearly a hater, followed by your IP address and a list of your relatives. How dare you suggest my idol was off-key? He was tired. He was emotional. He was breathing differently. Actually, I take that back. You just don't understand vocal technique. And also, here's a thread explaining why your ears are broken. And God help you if you ever come across one of those company stans. The most popular strategy is labeling you as an anti in disguise, hating on their perfect superstar. Statements like, "This comeback is not hitting," or "The performance was not great," get met with, "If you don't like it, leave." No discussion, no nuance, just blind defense and immediate hostility. These are the same people who'll write 50 tweet threads analyzing every frame of a music video. But analysis is only acceptable when it's glowing praise. Critical thinking is only welcomed when the conclusion is, everything is perfect. Warning sign number 3. Unreasonable fears about the outside world that often involve evil conspiracies and persecution. In cults, members are taught that everyone outside the group is dangerous, corrupt, or trying to destroy them. It's us versus them. The world is out to get you, so you need the group for protection. K-pop fans have convinced themselves that everyone is out to get their faves. The media, biased and xenophobic. Other fandoms, jealous and threatened. Award shows, rigged. Music critics, haters. The general public, locals who just don't understand art. The music show is rigging the votes against us. That article used an unflattering photo on purpose. Western media refuses to acknowledge our achievements because they're threatened by Asian excellence. Radio stations are colluding to block us from the charts. The Grammys are racist. That's the only reason we didn't win. Now, I am not naive. Sometimes there is actual bias. Xenophobia is very real. Western music industry gatekeeping is a legitimate issue. But we've reached a point where we can't distinguish between actual discrimination and normal criticism. A journalist can write, "This song is catchy, but not their best work." And fans respond like it's a hate crime and a declaration of war. It's embarrassing, and it hurts the artist more than it helps them. Every slight is a conspiracy. Every critique is an attack. Every loss is rigged. We've created this siege mentality where it's us, the enlightened fans who understand, versus the rest of the world, who are either too ignorant to appreciate our faves or actively conspiring against them. Sound like cult mentality yet? Warning sign number 4. A belief that former followers are always wrong for leaving, and there is never a legitimate reason for anyone to leave. In cults, leaving is the ultimate betrayal. There's no acceptable reason to go. You're either in or you're the enemy. The music is not hitting anymore. Fake fan! You were never a real one, actually. I'm stepping back because the fan wars are affecting my mental health. Good riddance. We don't need you anyway. People are allowed to outgrow things. People are allowed to set boundaries. People are allowed to change, to lose interest, to prioritize their well-being. Someone leaving a fandom doesn't erase the years they spent supporting that artist. But in K-pop culture, if you're not ride or die, you're a traitor. And the anti-label? We throw that around like confetti. You used to stand but don't anymore? Anti. You stand but criticize something? Anti. You breathed wrong near my fave's name? Believe it or not, also anti. There are only 2 categories, devoted followers and enemies. Nothing in between. No nuance. No understanding. Just cult mentality. Warning sign number 5. Lack of meaningful financial disclosure regarding budget. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about where it goes. Oh wait, we can't, because nobody will tell us. Warning sign number 6. Abuse of members. The K-pop industry has a documented, publicly known history of extreme diets and weight restrictions that border on starvation, grueling schedules with minimal rest, sometimes 2 to 3 hours of sleep during promotion periods, trainee debt that can take years to pay off, invasion of privacy, no dating, monitored phones, controlled personal lives, mental health crises being ignored or stigmatized, physical injuries being pushed through instead of properly treated, young trainees, sometimes children, being worked to exhaustion. And what do companies do when these issues become public? Issue a carefully worded statement. Give the I-dle a week or 2 off, maybe a month if it's really bad. Then it's back to the grind. Back to the same system that broke them in the first place. The worst part? We know this. We see this happening in real time. And we still participate in the system that enables it, including me. We demand more content, more comebacks, more fan service, more concerts, more variety show appearances, and companies deliver at the I-dle's expense. We're complicit. That's the uncomfortable truth. Warning sign number 7. Followers feeling like they are never able to be good enough. In cults, members are constantly told they're falling short. They need to do more, be more, sacrifice more. The goalpost is always moving. There's never enough devotion. This is one thing I have never understood. There are literal spreadsheets, color-coded voting guides, streaming rules that read like tax code. Don't skip, don't pause, don't repeat. Clear your cache every 3 plays. Use different playlists. Play at minimum 50% volume. Stream on mute if you have to, but don't pause. Create multiple accounts. Use VPNs to simulate international streams. How did we turn something fun like music into an unpaid part-time job? And if the group doesn't win that award, doesn't break that record, doesn't chart as high as expected, It's your fault. You didn't stream enough. You didn't buy enough. You let them down. You failed them. I've seen fans genuinely apologizing to idols who will never see their tweets because a music show ranking wasn't as high as hoped. The goalpost is always moving. Break a record? Now we need to break the next one. Win an award? Now we need a bigger one. There's no enough. There's no celebrating success. Just constant pressure to do more. Be more. Prove more. Warning sign number 8. A belief that the leader is right at all times. In K-pop, the leaders are both the idols themselves and their companies, and in fans' eyes, they can do no wrong. They didn't mean it like that. You're taking it out of context. Look, I love giving people grace. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has bad days. Context matters. But there's a difference between understanding and blind absolution. Boy group stans are the worst when it comes to this. We've created an environment where idols are literally incapable of wrongdoing in fans' eyes. Every action has a justification. Every mistake has an excuse. Every wrongdoing has a defense squad ready to deploy within minutes. Everyone messes up. Everyone has flaws. Accountability isn't hate, it's how we grow. But in cult-like fandom culture, suggesting that your fave is capable of being wrong feels like blasphemy. Like you're betraying them. Now, I don't agree with cancel culture either. That's another cult-like behavior for you that has infected not only the K-pop world, but I will touch on that topic in another video. Warning sign number 9. A belief that the leader is the exclusive means of knowing truth or giving validation. This one's subtle, but it's everywhere in K-pop culture. The leader is the source of all truth. Their interpretation is the only valid one. Outside perspectives are dismissed. Only through the leader can you understand reality. We've created echo chambers, where outside opinions literally don't matter. A music critic with 20 years of experience, their opinion is worthless. Only people within the fandom can have valid opinions. Only the idols themselves can tell us the correct way to interpret their art, their message, their intentions. You go outside the script? Well, stop pretending you're a fan then. We've made K-pop fandom the exclusive arbiter of truth, taste, and validation. Everything else is noise. Everyone else is ignorant. Let me tie this together with something that runs through all of these warning signs. Excessive devotion and isolation. When does devotion become excessive? When does passion become obsession? And the isolation aspect. We create in-groups and out-groups. We distance ourselves from people who don't get it. We spend more time with online fandom friends than real-life relationships. You can love an artist's work without making them your entire identity. You can support someone without sacrificing your mental health, your financial stability, your relationships, and your time to the degree that we do in K-pop fandoms. This level of devotion to strangers who don't know you exist, combined with isolation from outside perspectives, that's textbook cult behavior. I'm sorry, but it is. So, is K-pop a cult, technically? No. Legally? No. K-pop itself, the music, the industry, is not a cult, but it does exhibit a concerning number of cult-like characteristics. I'm not trying to ruin K-pop for anyone. I still love the music. I still support artists. I'm not telling you to stop being a fan. But I think we need to be honest about the culture we've created and the industry we're supporting. K-pop isn't going anywhere, but maybe, we can enjoy it without the cult-like devotion that's harmful to us and harmful to the idols we claim to love. We have the power to change fandom culture. We have the power to demand better. But first, we have to admit there's a problem. Let me know in the comments which warning sign hit the hardest for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe out there, fellow cult members.